Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you all, the members of the media, for coming out this afternoon. Joining me this afternoon at the podium is Mr. Stuart Green, owner of Braymiller's Market, Buffalo Common Council Majority Leader and Ellicott District Councilwoman Leah Halton-Pope, Fillmore District Council Member Mitch Nowakowski, as well as Senior Directors of the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency, Scott Billman and Hope Watkins. And so thank you again for coming out. Today I have the responsibility to share the unfortunate news of the impending closure of Braymiller Markets located in downtown Buffalo at 201 Ellicott Street. The closure will take place in the next week to 10 days. Braymiller Market has been a valued part and partner of the downtown community for the past 3 years, providing resources to the residents and workers of the Central Business District and the surrounding neighborhoods. I think we all know the story of Braymiller Market here at 201 Ellicott, a plan that was put in place pre-pandemic, construction taking place as we entered into the pandemic, opening shortly thereafter. And the closing of this market is a direct result of the unprecedented challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. With an estimated 30,000 fewer people in downtown Buffalo on a daily basis, a shift to remote work, extended business closures, the economic and foot traffic conditions required to sustain the market were severely impacted. This is not unique to the city of Buffalo, but reflects a nationwide trend where small businesses, particularly in urban centers, are struggling to adapt to shifting economic and social conditions. Despite significant efforts by Mr. Green, including personal financial investments, public and private partnerships, the post-COVID-19 environment simply made survival untenable. As we all know, at one point there was a loan extended to Braymiller Market and Mr. Green, along with investment from Paul Simonelli as well. I know there was criticism of that loan at that time, but I can tell you as a member of the council at that time who was excited at the possibility of a market opening downtown, we were able to use the loan to Braymiller as leverage to bring $3.5 million into our small business community through a small business grant program with Grow America. And that has resulted in small grants going out to 236 small businesses in every district across the city of Buffalo, nearly half of them being minority owned, which is a key reflection of the commitment of the city of Buffalo to equitable economic recovery. Obviously, there's some great concern of what will happen to this property moving forward. I can tell you that a public use has been identified and an announcement will be made soon. We are working diligently to finalize lease terms and to ensure that this location continues to serve as an essential part of this neighborhood. I want to take a moment to thank Stuart Green for his bold vision and unwavering commitment to this location and addressing a long-standing food desert here in downtown Buffalo. I was talking to Stuart beforehand, and you know, there's a lot of all other grocers who balked at the possibility of bringing a grocery store to downtown Buffalo. And Stuart was willing to invest at great personal risk and invested in downtown Buffalo. His leadership and partnership have been invaluable to the residents of the East and West Buffalo and the downtown community. We are deeply grateful for the investment made by Braymiller Market, Paul Simonelli, Evans Bank, and all the partners who believed in the importance of this location and this store being here in downtown Buffalo. Again, this was a collective effort to ensure that there were resources and food options for people in downtown Buffalo. And if you look around other cities of our size, they do not have grocery stores in their downtown core. But again, it's something we'll continue to fight for. So with that, again, I want to thank Stuart Green for his commitment to this project and welcome him to the podium at this time.
I'd like to thank everyone that helped Braymiller Market get this far. We've done our best to provide this amenity to downtown and the surrounding areas. When we began this project, we thought we had the timing right with the growth of the Central Business District. Due to things beyond our control, the business climate changed. As this neighborhood develops, the critical mass needed to support a grocery store will become apparent. Braymiller Market will continue to support the City of Buffalo and our community partners as always, from our other store. I will miss our valued employees and customers, and thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Stuart. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Buffalo Common Council Majority Leader and Ellicott District Councilwoman Leah Halton Pope.
Good afternoon. I'll be honest with you all. This isn't a great day for me. It's not a great day for my constituents. It's not a great day for the neighbors next door, one of which just left out of here from shopping. So I'll be honest with you, I'm pissed that this is where we are. However, this is what happens when a pandemic hits and the economic impact. This is how we see it play out in the long run. And so I do want to thank you for making an effort, Mr. Green. I was not here to vote on how this money was spent in the first place. I was not here to leverage the loan amount that was given to Braymiller, but I did see the benefits that did happen in other parts of the city because of that leverage. However, that doesn't address the need for having more than one grocery store in my district. This was one of two. And to see my constituents walk out of here with groceries knowing that next week, and they live next door, they won't be able to walk is a problem for me. I'm also concerned about what happens to those workers that are here in the holiday season while they're trying to take care of their own families. I'm concerned about that. And so it's important for us. Our small businesses are vital to the health and well-being of any city, every neighborhood, every community. And supporting them is something that the onus is on all of us who live down here. Being supportive of these grocery stores, whatever businesses that we have, to make sure that they do thrive. My question is, whatever happens next, I'm hoping that it includes continuing to make sure that there's access to healthy food options, that there are employment opportunities for individuals, and that our city as a whole, especially downtown, especially we have people who are living in affordable housing, have access to fresh fruits and vegetables and all of the quality things that they need in a pinch right next door. What are we going to do for that next? So I'm a little bit concerned. This is a sad day for me as the Ellicott District Council member. It's a sad day for the Ellicott District, and it's a really sad day for these constituents who will be without in the upcoming days and weeks and months ahead. Thank you.
Now welcome to the podium Fillmore District Council Member Mitch Nowakowski.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Stuart, for really trying to stick it out here in the Central Business District in downtown Buffalo. And I already let my team know I'm going to let it rip, because we need to talk a lot of truth of why we're here. We are not here due to Stuart. We are here because of the pandemic that hit all of our communities and the hemorrhage of over 30,000 office workers that came to downtown Buffalo, providing sales tax and revenue to businesses all over the city. And this became a punching bag in the previous council of why to give Braymiller money. Now, I'm going to say a funny story, but it's true. The original vote that to give Braymiller money failed in the Common Council. And I'm quoted in Mr. Shoemaker's article that says the mayor of Buffalo at that time didn't do enough to get council members to vote for this or make enough sense of why we should support this. I get a call from then an administrative assistant that told me that the mayor would like to see me. He pulls out the article and says, "You state that I did not do enough to get this passed through the council," and I didn't. So at that time, the council members were able to broker a deal to get Braymiller the money that they needed to keep them operating and keep workers here in downtown Buffalo, and then leverage $400,000 for each councilmatic district to deliver to their businesses. Every single dollar in my district has been dispensed. Some districts not. So I refuse to allow Braymiller to be a punching bag of downtown versus neighborhoods. The Central Business District has hemorrhaged people, but also 14% of the assessments have went down. They are paying 14% less in taxes. You know who makes that up? Neighborhoods have to make up that difference. So a strong, vital downtown urban core might be separated between Ellicott and Fillmore districts, but it benefits the entire city as a whole. The revenue that is generated here delivers services to Kensington Bailey, to the west side, to the Fillmore district, to everywhere in between. So it might be between two districts, but the central business district and downtown belongs to us all. Now, I'm an urbanist. I understand I live in the city of Buffalo. I live in a city. I don't live in a village. I don't live in a town. So for us to be able to successfully bring back downtown to revitalization is incumbent upon all of us. It's not about politicians kicking the can down the road and who gave what to whom. It belongs to all of us, because when downtown and urban city centers thrive, the entire region thrives. So I'm not going to abandon a downtown that has residential units. I'm not going to abandon a downtown that has pharmacies and grocery stores and amenities that are able to provide a quality of life to everybody, because that's what cities do. And cities also regenerate themselves time and time again, and I'm confident in downtown Buffalo's regeneration. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. Just to follow up, I think Councilmember Nowakowski hit the nail on the head, excuse me, how important it is to build up our downtown core. And we have been engaging our private sector partners on a daily basis to get them to be partners with the City of Buffalo to see what we can do to make sure that our downtown core flourishes. At the City of Buffalo, we're holding people accountable. We want them in the building working. We're hoping that private sector companies will get people back in the buildings as well and visiting our downtown core, so other businesses can open up and benefit from that. And again, I want to thank Stuart for being the first one through the door trying to make sure that happens, and there was a grocery store here in downtown Buffalo, and I commend him for his efforts on that. So with that being said, if there's any questions, we'll take questions now. No, I don't. I think, as everyone's mentioned up here speaking, it's a victim of circumstances, right? And the pandemic that hit, it's a terrible timing for Mr. Green and for Braymiller Markets, for the City of Buffalo. But no, I think if you start giving up on ideas like this, you start giving up on the downtown core, you might as well start giving up on the City of Buffalo, and that's not going to happen under my watch, I can tell you that. I'll continue to work with my partners in government, our partners in the private sector, our partners in the nonprofit sector, to make sure that downtown flourishes. And we'll do whatever we can to make sure that that happens.
You said there would be a public use of this building. What more can you say about the public use?
Sometimes things don't come to fruition, so I don't want to go into too much, but I think in the very near future, you'll get an announcement out of us about what it is, but it'll be a very public use that will lend itself perfectly to this community and what this community needs.
Will it be a store?
No.
Public safety related?
Perhaps. No, like I said earlier, this is reflective of urban centers across the entire country trying to rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic. People working remotely, all downtown centers across the country have fewer people in them. And unfortunately, this is just a victim of terrible timing, unfortunately, something that we couldn't foresee. No one, when we were going through conversations with Braymillers and Mr. Green about opening up in downtown Buffalo, and he was ready to take a chance on downtown Buffalo. No one could foresee a pandemic coming on the horizon. So unfortunately, I said it's a perfect storm of circumstances that have led to this. It's nothing that Mr. Green did, nothing the employees did here. Mr. Green and the loan he received, he's met every benchmark that was required of those loans and exceeded a number of them, quite frankly. And so I commend him for the efforts he's put in here.
To follow up on that,
Yeah. So as of right now, I don't believe the city is required to pay any of it back at this point, so I think we're all set there.
wait a minute, hold on. What?
Any particulars on it? Yeah. Scott? You want to talk to particulars on that?
Sure. Scott Billman, Senior Director, Urban Renewal Agency. And the question?
What happens to this loan that was approved by the county council? Does Green have to repay any of it to you? What exactly is the status of the loan?
So the status of the loan is that we have currently not called it into default. The main purpose of the loan was to allow the HUD funding to flow to the market for assistance. And the basis of the funding is based on the number of employees that are held as full-time employees by the market, retained or created. So for each employee, you get a certain amount of HUD assistance. It's about $80,000 per employee. In fact, the market employed at least three times that amount that was needed. So in HUD's eyes, it is a completed project that met its goals, and the objective of retaining and creating jobs in the city was completed.
Under the terms of the loan, however, this store has to remain open for 2 years, and if it's closing next week, that's way before the 2 years.
Again, there's two conditions. One, to satisfy the HUD requirements, which are good. The additional year that's in those agreements has not currently been called as a default on the market.
Will you call it?
As of now, we have not called it.
Do you plan to call it?
There's no plan at this time.
Why? Why not?
Well, I wouldn't plan to call it because if you look at this store and the people behind us working, that $500,000 kept these people working, kept putting food on their tables, kept roofs over their head. So I don't see why we would call it back when Mr. Green not only met the requirements of the loan, but exceeded those thresholds by nearly 3.5 times that threshold.
So he did not meet the.
Just in hindsight, going with that, do you think that, it was a mistake now to give this bailout a year ago?
No, I don't believe so, and I voted as a member of the Buffalo Common Council to approve the loan, because not only did it provide Braymiller a chance to continue operating, people to continue working here and provide for their families, customers an option here to shop, but it also leveraged $3.5 million worth of small business assistance to every district across the city of Buffalo, which has impacted 236 businesses.
So just so I'm clear.
When you use that money anyway, even without the leverage, you had that money available to spend on those businesses.
Yes, but at the time, no one was talking about doing that, and there was no conversation about that happening. And the fact that the conversation started about assisting Braymiller because of how important other people thought it was, how important I thought it was to ensure we had a grocery store in downtown Buffalo, we were able to turn that into $3.5 million for other small businesses across the city. Not right now, no. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to continue talking with grocers and other things. We see what we can do to bring options to this community, and not just this community down here in downtown Buffalo, but other communities across the entire city of Buffalo. There are There are other areas in the city of Buffalo suffering from the same situation, food deserts and things of that nature. So we'll continue to work with my partners in government, on the council, the federal, the state, the county level, whatever we can do to make sure we're providing fresh food options for everyone in every corner of the city of Buffalo.
But aren't they good, if you're talking to another retailer, developer, everybody lines up to put number two here, they're going to point to the Braymiller not working out, so doesn't that make it a tougher sell to you to say,
Well, I think we can't work on that alone. We have to work on the downtown core as well and getting people back down here and repair the situations that led to the closure here. You can't just say, all right, come on in and turn the key and open the grocery store again. You have to work with our partners in the private sector and otherwise to make sure we have more people in downtown Buffalo. Build this core up, get people living down here, get people visiting down here, entertainment, everything you can to get people living down here so that this store, this location or another location, whatever it might be, could be successful in the future. Number of employees is 36. Yeah, 36. That's 36 families impacted by this. So this is not, I don't think this is a decision that's entered into lightly by the city, by the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency, by Mr. Green. No one wants to have 36 families without a paycheck during the holiday season. So it's not a decision that's been entered into lightly, but unfortunately the market conditions have kind of dictated it.
Do you think this was the wrong location?
No, I think we're in here in downtown Buffalo, and we should have a grocery store in downtown Buffalo. And
Was this the wrong, this right here, the wrong location, there have been better locations?
I mean, I don't see how moving the location 6 blocks in any direction would impact it. The market situation was the market situation after the pandemic, and 30,000 people being down here are going to impact it whether it's 6 blocks that way or that way. I'm sorry, Kristen? No, I think you have several different areas of government, different levels of government that were in favor of this happening. And again, unfortunately, we got to a point where it opened, and again, Mr. Green was willing to take the chance to come down to downtown Buffalo, a very successful operation out in Hamburg, and could have stayed there and continued moving along with his life, but decided to take a chance on downtown Buffalo and the city of Buffalo and its residents. So I don't think it was a mistake or a black eye or anything on anyone, but unfortunately COVID-19 and the market conditions have put an end to it.
One more, and then I go.
Okay, I'm sorry to harp on this again, but the terms of the loan specifically said it's got to be open for 2 years, and you're saying that you're just going to write off that loan even though it's closing a year early. Can you please explain
Yeah.
more about that?
In speaking with general counsel from the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency and other people within the agency, it's explained to me that criteria have been met, and so therefore we will not call into question the loan.